Hello, friends! My name is Brandon Dayton. I am your humble narrator. I am here with my stalwart ally, my most loyal friend and brother, NikoTheLegend.
I have been summoned into the realm of Dayton Does for the 2019 Steam Awards. How about that, huh?
And the audio is coming through Discord, so it might be a little bit choppy. I can only apologize for that. But, yeah, we're gonna make it do what it do.
Long-distance relationships are hard.
Yeah, it really is. Oh my god. So, 2019 Steam Awards have come around again. I did a video last year. It performed pretty well, so I decided to bring it back around again this year.
Yeah.
And the categories have changed just a little bit, so Nico and I will hopefully be able to come to a consensus on most of this stuff, but
Dude.
I think our tastes are at least slightly different, so...
Yeah. Dude, there's so many amazing games that came out this year. I'm hoping it's kind of difficult to choose which game that I'll want for each category. Because I'll let everyone know what I vote for. I don't know if Dayton will do that. But yeah, there's so many great games that came out. It's
plenty of surprises in store, yes.
Pretty insane.
So, you've chosen the nominees. I didn't nominate any actually this year. I think we need your help in choosing the winners.
I think I voted for Greedfall for one of them.
Oh, that's good. That made it on there.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Spoilers.
All right, so, hey, Bobby. So which one are we starting with first? Outstanding?
We're going to cover the categories first. So our categories, we've got Game of the Year, VR Game of the Year, Labor of Love, it was there last year. Better with Friends, I believe, was there last year as well. Yeah. Most Innovative Gameplay is a new one, and a really exciting one at that, because I love games that do something a little bit different. Outstanding Story-Rich Game, I think that's different from last year. They had environments last year. Story-Rich, all right. Best Game You Suck At, also a favorite of category of mine, because I like to get my ass kicked by roguelikes and stuff. And finally, Outstanding Visual Style, which is kind of different from last year's Environment, which was a pretty cool category, in my opinion.
This sounds more of an edgier way of saying it.
Well, visual style is like, yeah, not just the environment, the entire style of the game. Yeah. It can have a pretty environment and a shit character model, similar to Rend. How I miss Rend.
No. Oh, God. I would fall asleep watching those videos, and I just feel a little angry at night. No, I'm just kidding.
An hour long, yeah. I'm sure this video is gonna beat those in length, but you know. We'll start with the last category first because I want to end with the Game of the Year. Right. So if I remember to put timestamps in the description, those might be there, or in a pinned comment, something like that. So I'm gonna scroll really fast so I don't spoil any of this for us. Boom.
Good.
I made it.
Nice job.
To the FAQ, which that's not what I'm looking for. So, okay. Outstanding Visual Style. Hell yes. Our first game up is Grizz, which is a platformer.
Have not played it.
I've also not played it.
I haven't played any of these games.
Really?
No.
Total War 3 Kingdoms? You know about Total War, though. Come on.
Barely.
Everybody knows Total War.
Barely. I've heard of all these games.
Astroneer is on my wish list. It is definitely a beautiful game. I like the visual style, mostly because I dig on those cartoony sort of games, you know. Katana Zero.
That's old school looking, retro like.
It is quite old school looking, very Japanesey.
Yeah.
And then Subnautica Below Zero. The original Subnautica was very, very pretty as far as visual style. Below Zero looks to have a lot of white in it, you know.
Yeah, it looks like it's first person now, right? I'm gonna say Grizz because if you look at it, it looks like it was taken out of a John Bluth film, and I love John Bluth films. I like Titan AE. I like Treasure Planet. Dragon's Lair. I've never seen Dragon's Lair or Space Ace, one of those old arcade games and movies back in the day.
Yeah.
But like the Black Cauldron is one of them. Anyway, I don't know. For some reason, it just looked like this game had that kind of cartoony feel to me. I don't know. It's strange.
It's definitely got like a nice flavor to it. To me, it looks like a little bit too much like, they're trying hard to make something purposely artistic, which, you know,
true.
doesn't necessarily impress me. They're like, over the top, look how artsy we are, you know?
Yeah.
Where I did allude to my vote a little bit when we were talking about it, but Astroneer is definitely the one that I would go for, just because of, you know, the colors, and when you're traveling to a distant planet, you don't know what color it's going to be. It could be neon, pastel, whatever. And yeah, they went with that. So I applaud their choice, whereas most space games are like, you know, black and gray everywhere.
Yeah,
they
dude.
added some color to it, which
It's got 42,000 reviews, and it's very positive. It's like double some of these. Holy crap. That must be.
There's definitely some passion behind the game, and it was on sale recently. I was like, should I go for it? No, I'll just wait a little longer. Just a couple more years, and then it'll be on sale for,
for like
$1 or so.
That's too expensive. How about another 2 years for 50 cents?
I could take the leap. So, yeah, I think Katana would probably be the second place choice for me, and then Grizz, then Subnautica, then Total War: The Three Kingdoms.
Yeah, why is Total War on there? Is it just because, I don't know, it's a down-to-earth, artistically great-looking game? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Total War has always been like a pretty good-looking game. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like, I mean, it's not artistic style in the award; it's visual style, and you know, Total War does definitely have some visual appeal when you're commanding giant armies to stab each other with swords.
Yeah, pretty much all these games make it onto here because they were the most voted, or nominees and stuff. So
yeah,
a lot of people really like Total War. So that's impressive.
Well, it is a popular series.
Never played it.
I've also never played it, but I know a couple people who have and just absolutely swear by it. They're like, "Did you get the new Samurai expansion or whatever?" And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
And you're like, "Nani?"
I don't really do grand strategy unless it's like totally fantasy based. Like, I love fucking Age of Wonders, but basically because you can cast spells between turns and shit. That's amazing. But yeah, I digress. My vote is Astroneer.
Yep.
Your vote is Grizz. What's your order?
Let me look at Katana Zero real quick. Just real quick. I just want to look at pictures. God, these pictures are tiny.
I'm gonna tell you a few things. It's a platformer. It's a hack and slash. It's
oh, I see. Oh.
Pixel style.
It looks.
I can infer.
It looks good, but I've seen better. You know, shit. I don't want to go with nostalgia for Katana Zero and just pick it because of that. All right, so I'm gonna Astroneer would definitely be the runner-up. Like I said, I like space games, Space Odyssey. I've always been about that because I like sci-fi. I don't know too much about. I don't know. I'm not really into the whole open world survival thing because a lot of games are like that, like No Man's Sky, which I guess that's my open world space game. But anyway, it does look aesthetically pleasing. It's a very juicy looking game. Juicy.
Quite.
All right, and all the
so
ones
Astroneer's your number one pick?
No, Grizz is number one. Astroneer's number two. That's the runner-up.
Okay.
All the other ones are dead to me.
Doesn't matter.
Take that, below zero. I'm ice cold. I'm icy in my veins.
I don't know, man. Subnautica's pretty cool. You should give that a chance at the very least. I can recommend that.
How about Subnautica?
So your spiel, you got Grizz and Astroneer. I say Astroneer is my number one. I'm gonna go ahead and cast the vote for that right now.
Cast it like a mage, like a mage.
Yeah, got my trading card, boy.
Oh, I didn't get a trading card. Oh wait, I think I did.
Yeah, you should.
All right, so we got Grizz for Nico and then Astroneer for Dayton. How about that?
Whoop whoop. So what's our next category? Best game you suck at. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my gosh, I see Hunt on. Oh my
Nico's
god.
gonna have some stuff to say. Mordhau is our first game up.
Oh, shiznit.
That's good stuff right there. Looks like updated Chivalry. Code Vein is on Nico's wish list for Christmas.
It
I
sure
know that
is.
much.
I want my weeaboo. I mean, I want my weebs. I want my anime Dark Souls-esque game. It's anything. It's everything I could ask for in life.
Hunt Showdown's on here as well. We give it a fair shake. I think we're going to come back to this one eventually.
Yes, we will.
Remnant from the Ashes.
It's like a Monster
I don't know
Hunter.
much about it. Yeah, it definitely looks Monster Hunter-esque to me. And then Mortal Kombat 11, which I have Mortal Kombat Complete and Mortal Kombat X, so I think my Mortal Kombat needs are filled for the moment.
Yeah, I'm actually.
If it goes on sale,
I'm surprised that Mortal Kombat's even on here. It's really the black sheep of the group. I don't know.
It's not an overly difficult game. Like, best game you suck at, okay. All the rest of them really do probably belong. I don't know much about Remnant. But yeah, Mortal Kombat, you can beat that just by spamming fucking fire. Was it ice balls or some shit like that?
Or the forfeit the match. That's how you win.
Oh, that's the secret hack.
So, yeah, like you said before, Hunt Showdown. I mean, it's got, man, there has been a ton of people playing it. It's got 36,000 reviews, mostly positive. That's impressive. Because the actual game released in August, and Dayton and I played it early access, and we had a good time. It was pretty fun, but it was definitely like in its infant stage, and as you mentioned before, we got to come back into this game and play it to its full capacity, because I'm sure it's really freaking great.
Yeah, I mean, we just started to figure it out when we decided to take a break. It's like, you go in, you do your PvE shit to level up your hunter, and then, avoid PvP, avoid the boss, just extract and catch a couple levels before you start to PvP and all this other stuff.
That's true. I remember we were doing that. We were like, just doing simple things just to get experience. They're like, all right, we're out. We are bouncing out. So I haven't played Code Vein. But Code Vein is like a Dark Souls styled game. It's heavily inspired, and people have mixed opinions about it because, I don't know, I heard that there's not really that good of lore, but I'm like, Dark Souls has always been about storytelling, or environmental storytelling, and it never really had too good of lore, so I don't know what people are talking about really. But see, I don't know, I haven't played the game. Same thing with Remnant, like you were saying. But then we get to Mordhau. Oh my gosh, this is one of the freaking most fun games I've ever played, and the most brutal of all games I've ever played. This game will test your wit, reflexes, Jedi force powers, and everything you could ever ask for. It is.
Is it just an updated Chivalry? What makes it different?
I've never played Chivalry, so I can't tell you.
Holy shit!
but I've seen it in the chat before in the game. People have made similar comparisons. But I think people are more inclined to Mordhau because I think it's more brutal, or there's more weight to it. But correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, because you played Chivalry and I have, and I played Mordhau and you haven't. So
yeah. I mean,
but
I wouldn't say that Chivalry doesn't have like weight to it. You definitely, you feel the impact of the weapons and shit. But it's dated. If we're being completely honest,
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it shows its age for sure.
I guess you can call this like a souped up version for Chivalry, although anybody who's listening will probably just crucify me for saying that. But this game is, you know what? Getting killed in this game, it can be annoying at times because, it's really difficult in the first 20 hours of you learning how to play the game. Like, first 20 hours of the game is when you start getting really the hang of it and you learn from your mistakes. But once you get past that point, you just start wrecking. And it's the most fun I've ever had in a long time for a multiplayer game. But then
I know it's a game that you told me to buy, and I'm like, I just play Chivalry if I want to scratch that itch. But
we got Halo.
Yeah, it definitely looks good. And now we have Halo and
Red Dead Redemption 2. But this is anybody out there listening, I highly recommend Mordhau just to buy and play if you're into the medieval fantasy genre. That's most realistic game you'll play in a long time as well, and bang for your buck. No wizards here.
I want fucking wizards in my medieval fantasy.
So, I probably would vote for Code Vein if I played it because, like I said, I love anime. I love the style that they went with. I like the setting, vampires and shit. I'm all into that stuff. But my ultimate choice as you know, I spent the most time discussing is Mordhaus, so I'm gonna vote for that, undoubtedly.
Sweet. Sweet. I can't back you up on that personally, because the only one I played on this list is Hunt. So Hunt has worked me over like more than once. You know, those fucking wasp ladies that pop up, and you're like,
that's scary.
hey,
Yeah.
I get the kill, and then she just like summons a shit ton of wasps to eat your asshole from the inside.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So Hunt is probably my top choice. I would probably put Mordhaus second, Code Vein third, Revenant in the fourth slot, and then Mortal Kombat. I'm not really sure why it's here because I've never.
It's fun.
I've never sucked at a Mortal Kombat game.
Well, they the thing about it, they made it. Okay. I keep talking about a lot of weight, but this is probably the Mortal Kombat that has the most weight to it. There's no longer like a run option in it. It's kind of old school in its fighting mechanics. It's kind of more slower and methodical. If that makes any sense.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
It's kind of a little more difficult to bust out combos. Like button mashing doesn't really work too well. I mean, you could probably spam uppercuts and scorpion spears and ice balls from Sub-Zero.
I will.
But I've tested it out. It's definitely a lot more methodical this time around. But I still don't know why I still don't know why it's here. Honestly. But surprise, surprise. I'm surprised that Hunt's on here. I was not expecting that. Honestly, I wasn't expecting Hunt Showdown to do so well. I really wasn't, because it came out at the time when Battle Royales were big, and this game was kind of Battle Royale-esque, because it's got the PvP aspect, a big map, but it's got the PvE in it. It's also interesting. It's got cool objectives. So Hunt, for sure, is the runner-up for me.
Okay, so we just do a little swip swap. I mean, yeah, Hunt just takes it home largely because I personally experienced the ass kicking, and on top of that, it's very innovative. It's doing stuff that I've not seen any game do before or since.
It's so different.
With
it's kind of
the
crazy.
PvP and PvE mixture.
Yeah, and it's a hard game too. I remember we were testing the waters, and people were just really good at it already, of course. But that shouldn't discourage people. It's just gotta well, I don't know how deep the learning curve is now, but I think we can just.
We'll come back.
We'll come back.
We'll do some videos on that. Keep an eye out.
Let's just take a crap.
So I'm gonna cast my vote for Hunt. Here we go.
All right. No one cares.
Well, what do you think is gonna win?
Oh, Mordhau.
Mordhau's gonna win?
Yep.
What about for outstanding visual style? What's gonna win?
Oh god. You know what? Considering the generation we live in, I'm gonna say Grizz.
Dang.
But
I would say Subnautica or Total War. No, but Total War's gonna take it. So fucking popular.
But here's the thing: Astroneer has the most reviews on here, so it's the highest or the most rated, and same thing with Hunt. Mordhaus the most rated game. The selection. Hunt is second. It's gonna be tough.
I'd be happy if Astroneer won. I'd be happy if Mordhau won. I'd be happy if Hunt won. So it's looking like a pretty good. At least we don't have to experience what we experienced last year with fucking PUBG winning Game of the Year.
Oh my god!
Because
Jesus Christ,
that put a really bad taste in my mouth.
Oh my god, it's terrible. All right, that's good. I like these categories. These are tough games to decide. I wish I played Code Vein. I wish I played Remnant from the Ashes. Code Vein more than Remnant. Remnant just, I don't know. It looks cool. It's got the same, whatchamacallit. Oh my god. Oh my god, what is that gothic horror? I totally botched the name. How dare I? Oh my god. What is it? It's the one with like the squid.
You did this to yourself. I can't help you.
The octopus.
All right.
Oh my god. Oh man, I hate myself right now. So you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it has that gothic horror feel to it, or look to it, which is pretty cool. It looks. These are all very dark games. Did you notice that? These are all very dark, bloody games.
I didn't until you pointed it out, but yeah, totally.
Shows what kind of people
it's got its own
we are.
aesthetic to it.
Every game here is got, yeah, like you said, a dark aesthetic or really gory or bloody. It's pretty cool. So Anyway, that's how I feel about the best games you suck at. I don't suck at Mordhau.
Not anymore. When you first started, you got to put your time in.
Yeah.
Anyways, that category wrapped. I think we're both relatively in agreement on it, so we'll move on to the next. We have outstanding story-rich games. Oh yes, and we're starting with Plague Tale. I've played 0 of them, so we're going in blind. Plague Tale Innocence looks like it's about the Black Plague. Okay. Disco Elysium is on my wish list. It is choose your own story, play as a cop.
Sweet. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It
won Far Cry New Dawn. Oh.
It won. Sorry, Disco Elysium won some awards at the Game Awards, which is pretty interesting.
It was on my wish list before then, but yeah, it's definitely caught my eye. Far Cry New Dawn takes place after Far Cry 5, which is pretty sweet. I don't know if it's necessarily story-rich. Far Cry games have a good story to them, but they're not exactly rich with story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty simple and basic. Actually, a lot of people don't really like the story from what I read.
I would say that
5.
Gears 5 would also fall, in the same category.
Well, a lot of... That's the thing, though. Gears 4 had a terrible storyline. It was just... You didn't care about the characters. Nothing was really going on that you should really care about, honest, besides Marcus. All, the other characters were just kind of blah. But everyone really loved the story for Gears 5. I'm kind of sad that I don't have it, but... just wait till it's like $10, like you were saying. I own every single Gears of War game to date. And I've always gotten Gears on day one. But for some reason, I think it was just the timing. I think what I was playing at the time, I had to make a decision. It's like either play this or that, and I went with the other option, of course.
Gotta make the hard choices, man. Sometimes it be that way.
And then
the final game is Greedfall, which Niko said. Did you nominate it for this category, though?
I think I did. I definitely did. This is okay. Let me tell you about Greedfall. Greedfall. I'm gonna try to sum this up real quick. So Greedfall is an RPG, really in-depth RPG with story-rich elements. I'm just kidding. So the thing is, what made me like Greedfall is that it reminds you of a classic. I don't know, first person? I mean, it's a third person game. I don't know. It reminds me of a classic third person RPG game from the 90s or the 2000s. And that sounds a little archaic to today's standards because it's all about playing a game that's over 300 hours long, like a Witcher 3 style game, open world and stuff like that. And, sometimes you just don't want to do that. Sometimes you just don't want to spend all that time and then only play the game once. And a lot of those games don't really have good replay value because it's so long and it takes forever to go through. But Greedfall, on the other hand, well, I still haven't beat it yet. I'm about to beat it, but I'm just about at 40 hours. It doesn't seem like a convenient time, and I'm actually surprised how long it's been going. But I've enjoyed every second of it. And there's been times where I've taken breaks from it, and then I go back into it, and I'm just amazed by how good the writing is, the characters, the quests that you do. And admittedly, some of it is a bit heavy-handed because a lot of the times you're just kind of sitting there hearing them talk for a while. But it's not useless information. That's the thing, which is great. And for some reason, I want to compare this to Knights of the Republic, which is a big deal because that was a fantastic third-person RPG game that a lot of almost everybody who's played it really enjoyed. And that's what it kind of reminded me of. It had that kind of slow-paced exploration, talking to these NPCs, and although the dialogue is completely different and a little more an autopilot in this game compared to Knights of the Republic, it still had that feel of the heart and soul that went into it, if that makes any sense. And this game went with a quest design that was all about a meaning and purpose. They even said it themselves in the interview. We don't want any useless quests. Every quest you do has to tie into the story in some way, and it makes the story into a much more complete package.
So is that going to be your vote then?
Yeah, because it's the only fucking game I played out of this list. So I'm voting for Greedfall. Like I said, I recommend it for anyone. It is really good. It's really fun. It's got like Dark Souls-esque combat, Knights of the Republic-esque storytelling. It's got a mixture of a lot of things. It's really neat. I like it.
You can totally judge a book by its cover, though. Watch me do this, all right? Disco Elysium is the best game on this list because it's on my wish list. It's got a cool visual style. I really like the fact that you're able to either take your cop as like a by-the-book sort of cop or just ruin everybody's life that you come across. That's probably what intrigued me the most about it. I'd say Greedfall's next just because I really like the way Nico describes it. Yeah. I hadn't heard much about it before then. Plague Tale Innocence I'd place in the third slot just because that's a really interesting and probably drama-rich period of history. Far Cry and Gears are kind of tied for me. I guess I'd place Far Cry above Gears just because of my loyalty to the Far Cry franchise, which, they're both enjoyable shooters, but I don't know if they'd be story-rich.
Outstanding story-rich. May I
Perfect.
add. So, another thing about Greedfall is just one last thought, is
listen to this guy, this fucking guy.
The underdog story of spiders. And nobody really knows who the hell spiders are or what they represent, but they did games like Bound by Flame and Technomancer, and those games were pretty average or mediocre at best. But then when Greedfall was announced, a lot of people were talking about Greedfall because it looked pretty cool, set in the colonial, like 1700s-esque game, which you don't see many games do that besides Fable 2 and 3. And they're, spiders, this was their game. This was their game to go all out. They had double the budget, sponsored by THQ Nordic, and that's a pretty big publisher these days. I give kudos to Spiders, because how many French developers make good games? I don't know what other French developers there are out there. I can't remember. I think Eidos? No, not Eidos. Shoot, I can't remember. I think there's... Which one does Deus Ex? Is that Eidos Montreal? Shit.
You did this to yourself. I can't help you.
Ah, great. Here we are again. Anyway, these guys worked. You can tell they put a lot of heart and soul into it, and it definitely shows. A lot of the top critics gave it good reviews, which is awesome. For example, IGN gave it an 8.2, which doesn't sound amazing compared to like what other games have gotten, but this game proved what it needed to do, and it got those good reviews. For the most part.
But it's still not as good as Disco Elysium. Vote.
Well, here's the thing about Disco Elysium. I probably would vote for it if I played it, but just because of what you were just saying before. But here's the thing that kind of throws me off. It has no combat. It's just all story. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did.
I like CRPGs. I like isometric RPGs that have combat in it. I like turn-based tactical combat,
But that's so in the vein of what every other game does.
This is true. No, this is true.
Aren't you interested in a game
breaking the wheel? Yes, breaking the wheel.
Yeah.
Or going outside. It is interesting if you're a hippie.
Fuck off. It sounds amazing.
I don't want to fight. I'm just kidding. No, but maybe one day I will play it.
Oh yeah, once it's on sale or something, or in a bundle. I'll be like,
we can talk about Plague's Tale. Plague's Tale might be. Oh god, this is tough too because I love Gears of War and Gears 5. I'm sure it has a good shooter, but just like when you were talking about what was the game before? Mordhau with Chivalry. You have that itch, right? If you need it, it's kind of like that with Gears. It's like I got Gears 4 or Gears 3. It's like kind of franchise fatigue for me right now. I think that was the main thing. But Plague's Tale,
you had that Gears itch, and then you got some penicillin or something, and the itch goes away.
Got the enema.
Yeah.
And the itch hasn't returned yet, luckily, because I'm still numb to the enemas. So the thing is about Plague Tale is that I think it's cool that we finally get a game that takes place during the Black Plague. I think there's really no games that take place around that time. Not really.
Yeah, I want to be a plague doctor, dude. Have like a big beak full of flowers or whatever.
Yeah, maybe that's
Sweet.
That's probably the sequel. But I think it's a pretty cool story narrative experience, and it's got a lot of good reviews. I probably would wait for a sale on it, of course, because the game is pretty short. It's pretty, it's pretty on the line. It doesn't stretch too far outside of the norm of anything. It's just compared to like Greedfall or Disco Elysium. Well, I would say Disco Elysium because that's kind of breaking the rule. Greedfall, like I said, I compared it to Knights of the Republic, but Plague's Tale, I could see people picking it.
Yeah, if you pick Far Cry or Gears, you're wrong.
The end. That's probably what I should have said in the beginning. You're all wrong.
You picked it for the wrong reason. I mean, they're great franchises, but this is story rich. And as far as story goes, I think Disco Elysium, Greedfall are the top two. Obviously, I voted for Disco.
Yeah, Greedfall won, Disco runner-up. And then if Disco wasn't in here and some shitty game that took its place, I'd pick Plague Tale for second.
Not bad, not bad.
And I call myself a Gears fan.
Times change. People grow up, you know?
I want to grow up. All right, on to the next. Can I do this one?
All right, we're moving along.
All right, we're moving.
Got most innovative gameplay.
Wait, I wanted to do it.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, thank you. All right, by the way, I haven't played any of these games. Oh, wait, but there's something here that you have played. Okay, anyway, so moving along, thank you, Dane, to the 2019 most innovative gameplay. I guess this is going to be a lot of things that were outside the box that you don't see normally in games, which is pretty hard to do, I would say. None of these games I have played. So the first one, we got Baba Is You. I've heard one thing about it and never again.
It's an indie puzzle game. It's kind of cool, I guess.
Okay.
If you like puzzles.
True. I don't. Unless it's Zelda. And then we got a Dayton favorite. I already know he's going to vote for this because he plays it almost every day. Slay the Spire.
26 hours into it. Yeah, it's a good one.
It looks pretty interesting. I think it's something that I would also pick. And then we got My Friend Pedro. I don't like the name Pedro, so I'm not voting for this game, and I don't know what's the deal with the banana. But I could see the appeal, I guess, because it's kind of a bit over the top. Some crazy shooting, platforming going on. I don't know. I just can't dig the My Friend Pedro because it just reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite. I think Napoleon Dynamite ruined the name Pedro for me, even though it was funny. But
Napoleon Dynamite ruined nothing, okay? It's the people that supported it that ruined it.
Oh, that's true. And then we go to the next game, Oxygen, not included. I have no idea what this game is. It says it's a colony sim, base building survival, so it could be like a
crafting survival,
like a Starbound or Terraria, maybe. So yes, the last and final most innovative gameplay game is Planet Zoo. Look, we haven't gotten really much of any zoo sims out there. I think the not Zootopia, that's a freaking movie. There was like this other zoo sim game that came out like maybe 5 years ago.
Jurassic World Evolution.
No. Well, I guess
made by the same people.
Oh, true. And well, yeah, this one was just straight up zoo animals. There was no Jurassic animals, no dinosaurs, and it didn't do that well. And a lot of people were bummed out about it. I would think because there's not really that many zoo sims like this or animals sims besides Jurassic World, like Dayton just mentioned.
Let me tell you why it didn't do well. Okay. I asked for a key and I was rejected. That's why.
That's amazing.
Deal with it.
So Planet Zoo is, I would say, just the next installment coming after a hot Planet Coaster, because Planet Coaster was very popular. I think a lot of people enjoyed it because Roller Coaster Tycoon is a classic favorite for a lot of people, and it's nice to see
Bones Wild Ride.
It's nice to see Planet Coaster do the job right by the company that made it, and then Planet Zoo seems to be doing well also. And yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know what's so innovative about it, but
exactly. What we really got to look at here is which one is actually the most innovative. It's like Planet Zoo, it's basically a whatever Dino Park Tycoon.
I was about to say that Dino Tycoon. Remember you were doing that on your channel? Anyway, shameless plug. Check out.
But with animals instead of dinosaurs, which obviously makes it not as good, but more innovative because I haven't seen many zoo simulators, but there definitely have been zoo simulators. Regardless, oxygen not including it's crafting survival. Did you play Craft the World? Yes, I did. It's like that in space. Okay, got it. My friend Pedro, platforming shooting. It's done really well. Like I think there's a lot of cool mechanics, like kick a frying pan up in the air and shoot it, and the bullets ricochet off into enemies and shit like that. When I saw it, Devolver Digital unveiled it during their press conference, and I was like, that's a pretty cool one. I'm going to keep an eye on it, and never end up getting it or anything. But still, it looks pretty cool. I don't know how innovative it actually is, though. Slay the Spire, deck building, roguelike. I mean, I've seen that too. The only game that really does anything super different, in my opinion at least, is Baba Is You, which is a game that I have not played, but
I would say...
Yeah, you basically push around blocks to change the rules of a puzzle in order to complete the puzzle, which... Have you ever heard of anything like that? That's absolutely insane. So,
it is insane. It's very different, and I'm gonna vote for it right now. Baba Is You. All the other games we've seen before in some shape or form. I don't know. I know we've seen puzzle games, but this one is really, really weirdly interesting. And
that's one of the beautiful things about puzzle games is they can kind of go any direction. Like I don't play them very much, but because I'm dumb. But they can definitely do
Me too.
Stuff that's just completely outside the box, and that's Baba Is You.
Yeah. So I guess that's what we're doing. I don't know what my runner-up's gonna be. I'm just gonna say Slay the Spire because I like just the mechanics behind it. I think it's pretty neat deck building roguelike. It's pretty cool.
I'm not saying any of these games are bad. You know, I fucking love Slay the Spire. Obviously, my friend Pedro. I sung its praises. Oxygen Not Included was also one that I had looked at briefly. Planet Zoo, I'm a little salty they rejected my key, but, you know, I still was interested in that, obviously, too, to even ask for one. But, yeah, innovation is what we're looking at, and none of them really shocked me with their innovation aside from the indie puzzle game that nobody expected.
You know what's funny? 3 out of the 5 of these games says that you want this game or you own them. So I see where your loyalties lie. But you picked Baba Is You because you went with the honest choice, which is the best choice.
I break out of the box and base it on what the title of the fucking award is. The game for what I actually think is gonna win, Slay the Spire, but
yeah,
that's both of us just lying to each other, you know?
Yeah, I ain't no liar. All right. So my runner-up, will be Slay the Spire, and primary is Baba Is You.
Yeah, for the rest of the order, it doesn't really matter. I mean...
the points don't matter.
I'd be like, yeah, Slay the Spire, my friend Pedro, Oxygen Not Included, Planet Zoo, probably exactly in that order, but...
The Planet Zoo grudge continues.
I'll never forget.
Let me in the damn zoo! Alright, so I'm guessing we're on to the next one. Your turn.
Yeah, let's keep it moving. We've got Better with Friends. Oh, how fortuitous. My friend is here with me.
I haven't played any of these.
Risk of Rain 2, sick as fuck. I played the original Risk of Rain and loved it. Played Risk of Rain 2, also loved it. Dota Underlords is free to play. That's about all I know about it. And it's based on Dota, which if you like Dota, which I don't.
Well, that's the thing, isn't... What was it at the Game Awards? I don't know if you saw it. Was it Dota or League of Legends that's getting all these like side story-esque games that are standalone?
Probably Dota. People come buckets for Dota. I'm just not one of them.
Yeah.
Everybody I meet in the Philippines that finds out I play video games, they're like, "You play Dota too?" I'm like,
"No, I don't like MOBAs."
Not that type of video game, okay?
Ooh, here's a classic one coming up.
Age of Empires Definitive Edition.
Oof.
Are you into Age of Empires?
Well, I know it's a classic, and people love the classics, and it was good on Microsoft to remaster this game, and they did a good job. All these.
Well, we'll look at if it's better with friends. I personally would like to play Age of Empires, but mostly, yeah, there's nothing wrong with a single-player campaign through most of these grand strategies. Mostly because I get my ass kicked in online play, but
They
that's
mostly
neither
come out
here
at
nor
night.
there.
Mostly.
Mostly. How about Ring of Elysium?
No.
Have you heard of it?
It's a battle royale game.
Oh, then no. DayZ, open
No.
world, like goal kind of thing, which I'm really quite salty about DayZ as well because
Yeah.
I bought it way back in the day when Steam refunds weren't even a thing yet, and development just fucking went nowhere for the longest time. So
Yep.
I put it on the back burner, haven't reinstalled it to try it again. I might, but I get the feeling that I'd probably be disappointed by it.
The problem is that I think they were just getting ahead of themselves. They shouldn't have released it so early, you know?
Yeah.
That's just crazy. I remember seeing the earliest footage of people playing it, and it just looked terrible. It was just a broken mess. Kind of like the Rise of Skywalker. Oh!
Oh, snap.
Oh, I went there.
Topical.
So, better with friends? Is it truly better with friends with playing Ring of Elysium or DayZ? I don't know. I don't know about that.
Honestly, you could probably have a good time with any of these solo, but I do play mostly solo games, so I learn to enjoy my own company.
Besides today!
Hey! That's cool. I can enjoy some company with Nico, too.
So,
that's all right.
Give me the rundown of Age of Empires. Is that like Roman Empire, the Chinese Empire, you know, like the Mongolian Empire? Or
yeah, all the empires.
Okay.
Plural.
What about the Empire from Star Wars? If it's not in there, I'm not voting for it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hate to disappoint you.
It would be called
DLC.
Age of Empire.
Age of Empire. There's only room enough for one.
Risk of Rain 2, it's got awesome reviews and stuff. I did like the original one.
It is so fucking sexy.
It's a very ballsy...
That is going to be my vote.
You know what's crazy about it? And it might just get my vote from how ballsy they went, because it's a completely different looking game now. Different perspective. We went from side-scrolling to third person, and that's pretty crazy.
Could have done the same shit, added more classes or something, but they decided to go completely off the wall, and I think it really worked out. I mean, it's hard to be in a third-person space and, like, you know, fucking, or 3D space and try and find the things that are shooting at you, especially the stuff that's up in the air. Yeah. It's, like, super frustrating at some points, but, yeah.
So I'm voting for...
the Ring being frustrating, too.
So... I'm gonna vote for Risk of Rain 2 just because it goes out, it breaks the wheel for themselves. Honestly, they could have, like you said, they could have just went with the same thing before, and they didn't. They decided to go with a different approach, and it fucking served them well. That is a true genius developer. So I'm not gonna vote for Age of Empires because it's nothing. It's a definitive edition. It's not a out the box. It's not doing anything new. I'm glad that it was a good definitive edition, but I mean, sometimes you just can't beat the classics, but nostalgia alone, I mean, honestly, I've never played these games, but I know a lot of people would vote for Age of Empires because of that alone.
I probably would put Age of Empires in second place. It is better with friends, but mostly I enjoy playing it solo, like I said.
And then Ring of Elysium and DayZ, when I just hear those, anything Battle Royale just gives me a sour taste in my mouth. And then I just cry in my bed because I think of Fortnite every time, or PUBG.
I mean, the last three, Ring of Elysium, DayZ, and Dota Underlords, really don't catch my eye. I guess I'd put DayZ in third place just because I own it, and you can play it solo, and it's kind of okay. You've got zombies to worry about instead of other players. Then Ring of Elysium, I guess, would be fourth place. I don't necessarily enjoy battle royales, but yeah, I might be able to dig it. I'll give it a chance, you know. And then Dota Underlords, anything with the Dota name on it just attracts cancer. So
yeah, you know, Risk of Rain 2 just has a good reputation and puts a good taste in my mouth. DayZ, blah. Ring of Elysium, blah. Age of Empires, runner-up. Dota, I just don't like anything to do with MOBAs. That's just a me thing, honestly. It's because I suck at
And
them.
that's okay. If you do like it, you're wrong, and that's okay too. All right, we can move on. Let's do it.
No! All right. Oh,
Sure about
okay.
that?
All right, I'll take over this one. So,
All right.
we have the... Wait, wasn't this on the last year's one?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so 2019, Labor of Love. I guess what we're getting at here is just the amount of content and updates and just all the work that these people put into making this the most pristine games. And a lot of these games went from boring to fun, or from broken to fun. Warframe, let's start with Warframe. That game came out, when did that come out?
God, forever ago.
2013 Warframe came out. Oh my god. Alright, we'll talk about each one of these games today. So Rainbow Six Siege. Oof. There's something special about Rainbow Six Siege. Oh crap. And then we get the Counter-Strike? What are they doing to me here? Oh my god. And then we get the Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't care about Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm more of a Wild West Red Dead Redemption fan. Dota 2, well that's going to be at the bottom of the barrel, honestly. So let's talk about Warframe. Okay, so I'm gonna go with my first experience in playing it. It wasn't that great. It was very very boring, very bland. It was very grindy. There wasn't really that much content, and this is when it first came out. And I kind of gave up on it. Honestly, I barely even played it. I thought it was kind of cool how fast-paced it was and stuff. And I was like, okay, that's kind of neat. And then I never touched it again. But you on the other hand, has played it recently, right?
I gave it a bit of time. I mean, yeah, I kind of enjoyed Warframe. I mean, because of the grindiness and just the fact that you didn't have to think too hard when you're playing it. You know, you're just a fucking robot going and kill other dudes. Like, it's not a very complicated game, and sometimes that's what I'm in the mood for. You know.
But the thing is about Warframe is that they made it into it's so huge now. They added commandeering ships and piloting spaceships, space travel, open world mechanics, dungeons, right, raids and stuff. Probably all this different loot. It's insane how much they added. So
and that proves that it's a labor of love.
Yeah, they haven't given up on it. And neither have the fans, apparently. Because it is still a very highly played game, which is crazy after all these years.
And the Warframe streams that I used to do were the hottest streams that I did. The fan base is extremely helpful and extremely fervent. Like, as soon as they see a Warframe stream, I gotta jump in there and I was hitting like almost 20 viewers, you know, which for my streams is fucking insane. So,
okay, you were like a partner streamer.
Oh yeah, totally. I remember.
So here we get to Rainbow Six Siege. I guess when this game came out, it was trash or it was buggy, glitchy. Wasn't that great. But after about a year of working on it, it finally turned into something really golden. And let me just tell you, I'm going to be voting for this game right off the bat. Just spoiler alert. Counter-Strike would definitely be up there, but the thing is about Counter-Strike, as much as I love it, and it's been going strong ever since it came out in 2012, and you can go all the way back to the beginning of Counter-Strike, of course, it's got a huge legacy. I'm going to go Rainbow Six Siege because it's like Counter-Strike on roids. Because of all the...
Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege is an extremely sexy game. As far as being a labor of love, you're right. They brought it back from the fucking brink. I got it for free when I bought my first graphics card, I think it was. And didn't think too much of it. And then years later, I decided to boot it up, and holy shit, it was awesome. Counter-Strike, I'm actually surprised by. Not surprised that it's on the list, but surprised that they had this Operation Shattered Web, and now you can kind of customize your characters and stuff like that, where it's like Counter-Strike used to just be, okay, you're a terrorist or counter-terrorist.
It used to be just go, go, go.
Yeah. And now CSGO is not as go-go as the other CSGO.
But that's the thing. I think the problem was that they went with the... they hopped on the bandwagon. They made a Battle Royale mode in CS:GO. They made CS:GO free, and then like you said, they have this operation and customizing characters. I think they're just trying to go where I guess it's what people are looking for, because
I mean, you got to change with the times, man. Customization is big, and I admire them for doing that instead of just letting their game fall by the wayside, which I don't think it probably would have, but at least they're doing something to keep the fan base inspired.
yeah, give me my fucking glove box. My glove skins, damn it.
Grand Theft Auto 5, I talked about them last year. They were also
I'll let you
on
take
this
this
list
one.
last year. And really, I don't think... I mean, stuff has been added, but it's like obviously stuff that's made to just line Rockstar's pockets. Like,
Yep.
you know, new cars, new weapons, buy our cash card in order to get it, or else, you know, you're going to be one of the not cool kids, which I'm totally not impressed by Grand Theft Auto 5. Although it is one of my top most played games, I put a lot of hours into it. But that just goes to show that in order to get the big stuff, you do need to spend money on it, which I'm not willing to do. And then Dota. You know about it.
Oh, I know about the Dota. God, Dota. Dota was on the one before, and then Dota's here. Oh man, come on, people.
But I covered I covered those last four in order to tell you that Warframe is definitely my number one pick.
Really?
List.
Not even Rainbow Six
Really,
Siege.
I love Rainbow Six Siege, but I really, really like what they're doing with Warframe. I think the updates for Warframe have been a lot bigger.
Oh, they have. They've been on a
Rainbow Six Siege,
scale.
yeah. Rainbow Six Siege is like, okay, here's some new operators, here's a new map, you know. It's basically been the same.
I can get that. It's not earth-shattering.
Yeah, Warframe is changing up their whole fucking thing, which, yeah, that proves to me that it is the most loved labor out of these five, at least.
Dude, seriously?
So, that's
like,
gonna be my vote.
honestly, who the fuck needs Star Citizen? That fucking scandalous game that hasn't come out and it's been in development for like 6 years now. Just once I saw that you can commandeer spaceships and go space traveling, like you can fly in space, kind of like how No Man's Sky is. You can fly in space, and not like the shitty Destiny where you're just floating in orbit and you just hyperspace traveler. Where I hated that in Destiny, but Warframe, it's like, I don't know. It reminds me a lot of what Star Citizen's trying to do. I don't know if you've seen it, Dayton, but Star Citizen is supposed to be like the most realistic space simulator exploration game. And it does look, from what I've seen, it does look pretty amazing, but it's just taking so long to come out. And people keep giving them money when they already passed their goals. It's just unbelievable. I will not spend $1,000 on a video game spaceship. Let's just say that. So, but the thing is about Rainbow Six, why I voted for it, is because there's something about it. I think that makes me just, every time that you and I played it, well, for one, I bring you back from you being burnt out from it, because every time I want to play it, I'm like, dude, let's play, this game's so fun. And then you're like, okay, it is so fun, and then I bring you into it.
Yeah,
and then
it's awesome every time I get on it, and I haven't had the heart to uninstall it because I know I'm going to get a taste for it again.
You just
want to
can't.
come back.
And that's the thing.
One of the best tactical shooters that I've ever played.
It's so... I love how down-to-earth or grounded it is. I like how on a much smaller scale it is. And like you said, all these different operators. And I get that the grind can be pretty anusy if you buy the basic bitch version like I did. But see, that's when it was quality over quantity for me. I chose the operators that I wanted, that stuck to me the most, and there's an operator for everyone, and I love it. I always go with Rook, and then I go with my Ashe Bay. Ashe is waifu, and Rook is waifu in my own world. That's just...
I have all the operators unlocked, except for the ones from the new season, because I haven't been playing it all this year.
Yeah.
But
that's just the magic of it. Every time we go in, I just have a blast, and I just keep telling him, like, dude, this game's so fun. Dude, this game's so fun. Even when we lose, we have, like, the most comical moments in that game. It's great.
It's always a good time. I gotta admit that. But as far as labor of love goes, the most work that's been put in, I'm voting for Warframe right now.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you think a game deserves more labor of love when you get a game like Warframe, for example, and it's just continuing to do all these crazy big updates, kind of adding more to the gameplay, and it's becoming its own universe. And it's probably it's gonna be live for for the remainder of time. It's gonna be a long time coming. Or
Yes.
or do you get a labor of love to Rainbow Six Siege? Because like you said, they brought it back from the dead. They defibrillized it.
But that was years ago. We're talking about 2019. What has gone on in
rose from the
2019?
ashes. Yeah, but is it true? Is it only 2019? I know it says 2019 right there, but shit, I think you got me there. All right, got him. Warframe it is. Changing the vote.
My logic is infallible.
Oh my god, you fucking went Romulan on me. Not Romulan, you went Spock, Vulcan on me. Holy shit.
Vulcan mind meld.
Holy shit, that's amazing. Alright, but Rainbow Six Siege will be runner-up because fanboy.
It doesn't mean that you don't love Rainbow Six. I fucking love Rainbow Six Siege. But as for the most work that went in this year, you gotta give to Warframe.
Dude, seriously, adding a gameplay element, or elements plural, like space traveling and flying spaceships and commandeering like fucking pirates and shit, that takes a lot of work.
Amazing.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Amazing.
All right, so we wrap this topic. Dayton does one for the record. I'm gonna do the VR game of the year and then game of the year.
Oh
intro.
shit.
Yeah.
That's big.
You get the
balls.
honors since
All
you are the
right.
guest. All right,
Sounds
so
good.
VR game of the year. Yes, I don't have a VR headset, but I definitely pay attention to the scene. Beat Saber is back on here again. Everybody fucking loves this game.
Oh, it's a rhythm game.
Yeah, and for good reason. It's a really, really awesome one. Blade and sorcery, you know, take a sword, take a spear, stab some dudes, shield bash. Really, really nice stuff there. Similar to Blade and sorcery is Gorn, which is a bit more cartoony, a bit more bloody, but you can't deny it. It is kind of goofy as far as the controls, though, from what I've seen. Borderlands 2 VR, I'm not necessarily fond of just VR remakes. Like we had Skyrim and Fallout last year. I'm like, meh.
It's got mixed reviews anyway.
And then Five Nights at Freddy's, which never has caught me either.
I'm never fucking playing that in VR. Get me out of your fucking mind.
I played the first Five Nights at Freddy's to see what it was all about, and some people had requested that I do it for the channel, but yeah, I never uploaded the video because I don't think the jump scares worked on me. Like my nerves are just shot.
Well, no, it's called you're used to cheap thrills, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, okay, well.
Besides, I don't want
guess I
fucking
lose then.
doll nightmare fuel shit. I dream about that shit as it is. So, I'm gonna go with Blade and Sorcery because I love medieval and magic and all this stuff, and I never even heard of Blade and Sorcery until now. I don't want to go on the bandwagon and picking Beat Saber, although I can see it winning. But Blade and Sorcery just looks sick.
It is gonna win. Beat Saber's definitely the one that's gonna win. I halfway kind of want to go with it just because I love the idea of it, but I suck at rhythm games. Every time I go in an arcade and try and play a rhythm game, I just end up getting completely frustrated and walking away from it. So I think Beat Saber would probably be somewhat the same experience. Blade and Sorcery is a really cool one, really realistic looking one, but Gorn is the one that catches my eye because of the more cartoony style and a bit more blood, which I'm all about the blood. And I've also seen it played in an arcade here in Manila, and yeah, the controls actually look pretty okay. When the kid was wielding a stick, it honestly looked a little weird and not like you would hold a staff, but you know, things like the claw gauntlet and shit like that are really awesome to see used. And I'd like to use it for myself if I ever get the chance to get a VR headset, which maybe down the road someday.
Maybe 2 years from now it'll be $10.
Yeah, when it cheaps up a little bit, then we'll think about it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think I'll ever get a VR headset unless, I don't know, probably not.
Yeah, I'm excited to see VR games taking off, you know. I see some people that are complaining they're like, oh, this game is VR only, and it's like, well, good. That means VR. There's a reason to get a VR headset. Like it doesn't bug me that I can't play Beat Saber. I mean, it does a little bit, but yeah, if I really wanted to, then I'd get a VR headset. I'd find a way to do it.
Yeah.
So probably Gorn is the one that would take number 1. Blade and Sorcery, I'm gonna stick in number 2 because I just really like the idea of beating up just random hordes of dudes. Beat Saber obviously goes in the 3rd slot, then Five Nights at Freddy's. Borderlands getting beaten out by Five Nights at Freddy's seems like blasphemy to me, but like I said, I just can't stand those remakes.
Yeah, I don't know. It has no appeal. Borderlands 2 VR, it's like, what? Why would they even release such a thing? That's like fan service in a way.
Because money.
Or yeah, easy money. Yeah, I'd say Gorn would be my runner-up. Blade and Sorcery number 1. Because medieval! And the combat looks really fun. Do some really cool stuff in that game. Alright, so yeah, not much to talk about here because I haven't played any of these games.
Yeah,
which is
we'll wrap it because it's a VR game and neither of us are really VR players, so maybe someday, but
I've done VR before and it's pretty cool. But I just don't see myself buying it though. Yeah,
like I said, the kid that was playing Gorn in Manila, like I could have gone up and played Gorn or Fallout or any of the other games after him. I instead chose to do this like shooter kind of thing, which was like a rail shooter game, which kind of just gets you used to VR. And it was really sweet to be able to like turn my head one direction and shoot dudes like in the other direction. That's something that I've never experienced in a video game before.
I've done something like that. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah. So VR is definitely, I hope that it's here to stay. I think that it's here to stay.
I think it will be. It's not going to be like a Virtual Boy.
Yeah, so I have time to get on the VR train. There's no rush.
You're out of time.
So we'll move on to the final category, the big enchilada. I'll let Nico do the do.
Oh god, this is difficult.
Are you ready?
Okay, so the final category is 2019 Game of the Year. So that's the big enchilada, the big cheese, a game that defines them all. One game to rule them all, actually, I should say. So a big one, which won Game of the Year at the Game Awards, which a lot of people were upsetty spaghetti about. I don't know why they were so upset about it, because, I don't know, fanboy reaction. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. I'll go down these list of games and talk about them, or once we get done going down, I'll talk about them. And, oh my god, a personal favorite, Resident Evil 2 Remake. Oh my god, what an amazing game. Okay, and then we got a game I just beat today, actually. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That is going to be difficult. Fresh off the
boat. Just say it.
Okay, yeah, right off the boat. Okay, and then we the Destiny 2, and then we get to Devil May Cry 5. Okay, so we'll go down the list one by one. Okay, so I will let you know that I've played 4 out of the 5 of these games. The only game I haven't played is Devil May Cry 5. And one day I do want to play it. Just never got around to it. So many games fucking came out this year. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how many heavy hitter games came out this year. How in the hell can you decide? Well, either you don't get any of them or you just get them all. Is that how it goes?
I definitely sided with the don't get any of them crowd. So
yeah, I'm kind of sad that Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't on here.
Well, I mean, yeah.
That game's story is fantastic, but it did have its crappy optimization, poor PC launch issues, so I can see why people didn't vote for it.
And it's been out for a while. Like, if you have a console, then you've been playing it for a year already.
Yeah,
not really excited about it.
So
I'm excited about it because I'm PC only, but
PC Master Race. Boop boop boop. So Sekiro. Let's talk about Sekiro. If you like From Software games, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, this game literally is the most difficult of the bunch. I'm not kidding. This game was fucking difficult. So difficult that I rage quit at the end boss, because the end boss is just, I think, probably the most rated difficult boss in the entire gaming universe. I'm not gonna lie. It is ridiculous how hard the last boss is. But besides that, this game is aesthetically, oh my god, it is like aesthetic porn. It is seriously an amazing, artistically well-designed game. The combat, although it can be frustrating at times because it's the type of game it is. It's a, you know, Miyazaki, the guy who made Dark Souls and Bloodborne, this is his type of game. But, you know, I'm glad he decided to go outside the box again. Very ballsy for a guy to do that, because the Dark Souls Bloodborne fan base is insane. Anytime you talk about Dark Souls being better than Bloodborne, or Bloodborne being better than Dark Souls, it's like Crips vs. Bloods, for crying out loud. America versus the United States
Everybody
military
else
versus Nazis. It's it's okay. I don't know if the last one was a good comparison, but whatever. It is seriously a standalone game, because the guy Miyazaki still knows how to do these games properly. It was cool to see him go in a more story narrative game. There's really no creating your own character. You're kind of this you're Sekiro, and he's going on this quest to save the emperor or something like that. And you know, there's still the story elements to it, or environmental storytelling that people appreciate. But the different thing is that it's more linear and story based compared to the other games, which was just environmental. This one is just way more linear. But the thing is, with me, since I haven't beat it, I don't see any replay value in it for me, because it's a very stressful game, the most stressful From Software game. But I can also see why people enjoyed and wanted it to be Game of the Year, because it's up there. It's definitely got the heart and soul. So anyway, I spent enough time on that. Resident Evil 2. Oh man, I can't even. I beat this game. Let's just say this game is short, but there's a lot of replay value, a lot of different ways of playing it. Either you're Claire or Leon, you're Claire on your second playthrough, or Leon on your first playthrough, A/B type deal, and you know, you get different ways of different ending. For both, you get complete endings. If you beat them with both Claire A and Leon B, or Leon A, Leon B, it's kind of confusing to keep up with, but I beat the game 4 fucking times. That should let you know how much I enjoyed it. 4 times for a game like this. And admittedly, your first playthrough will probably take you like 6 hours to beat it, then you'll beat it in like 3 to 4 hours, which doesn't seem like much, but every second of this game is spectacular. I know Dayton doesn't really like. I don't know if you enjoy remasters as much as I do, but this is how you do a remaster, and I'm so glad that they did Resident Evil 2, because that's a game I couldn't beat on the original PlayStation because it was fucking hard as hell. And I was stupid as a kid because puzzles, and I think it's great to see them go with third-person perspective this time around. They did it right. I mean, shit. And then we get to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and then oh my god. This is the game that saved the Star Wars franchise, video game franchise, from taking a fucking swan dive into ice. It is spectacular in every regard. In every regard? Jeez, that was kind of hard to say. Because this is a long time coming. We haven't gotten a single-player Star Wars game in a very long time. The last one we got was supposed to be Star Wars 1313, but thanks Disney for canceling it, you bastards. And before that, I think it was The Force Unleashed 2 was the last single-player Star Wars game. And then we got schlock like Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2, with the whole EA currency loot box controversial bullshit. And then we finally get the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and thank God that Remedy had full creative decision and on everything they did in this game. EA finally learned their fucking lesson, which is nice, and it definitely shows. This is a spectacular game. If you ever want to get back into Star Wars, you'll like this game. many elements of Dark Souls, Zelda dungeon exploring, Metrovania aspects, a lot of replay value, and it's just got such a solid story. And beating it today, I was just amazed by the last 15 minutes of the game just blew me away. It just was like cream of the crop. It was a cherry on top. The last 15 minutes of the game, it was perfect to me. Now Destiny 2, I don't really care too much about because guess what? They pulled the same stunt as they did with Destiny 1. First year of it was just crap. Not much content apparently from what people were saying. The story was mediocre, if not. I mean, the story in Destiny 2 was nowhere as bad as Destiny 1 because, I mean, there was no story really in Destiny 1. That is a proven fact. Destiny 2 actually had a story, but it was very bleh. It's very bleh. But eventually they came back with their expansions and making it into a complete game, which was great. But see, I just couldn't get back into it. If I enjoyed it the first time around, great. I might come back to play it. If I didn't enjoy it, you'll never see me come back. That's just how I am. I don't have the patience. I gave them a chance, and these developers can fuck it up. Kind of like No Man's Sky, and Destiny 2 is no stranger. Like I said, they pull the same Year 1 crap that they did with Destiny 1. And then, somehow the game gets good. I'm like, yeah, great. So, that's how I feel about Destiny 2, but a ton of people still play it, so I shouldn't discourage you from playing it. It is a complete package. A lot of people that I've talked to that still play it love the game. The expansions are amazing, they're incredible. All the content they add, it doesn't seem to let up. I just hope they don't make a Destiny 3 because they don't need to. And then we get the Devil May Cry 5. Never played that game, although I do like the Devil May Cry series. It's great to get all these neat characters like Dante and Virgil. Dante especially, I have fond memories of Devil May Cry 1 on the PlayStation 2. Very fond memories. And the Devil May Cry 3 is a brutally difficult game, but really fun. That's how I skipped Devil May Cry 2 because I never played it and I heard it was the worst one in the bunch. And then Devil May Cry 4 was pretty bad too because it had the worst backtracking I've ever seen in a video game my entire life. Had fun gameplay, but just horrible backtracking. And then finally, we get Devil May Cry 5 after so many years, and they didn't fail. It was nice to see this game come up on top, and I think it does deserve a Game of the Year spot because it was a long time coming. Just like Resident Evil 2 Remake, just like Jedi Fallen Order, I think this is a really difficult choice for me. Anyway, Dayton, I spoke long enough. Sorry about that.
I just let you go off, King. Go ahead. That's fine. I mean, I haven't really played any of these. The amount of games that I bought this year has just been totally minimal, and the ones that I did buy are indie titles and not super popular. So, based on them, I probably would have voted for Jedi Fallen Order, but hearing your description of Sekiro at the very beginning made me decide that is probably the vote that I am going to make. I really enjoy hard games. And let me add on top of that. There's a famous quote that Miyazaki said about difficulty in games, and one of the main things about Sekiro is that people were complaining of how difficult it was, or it deserves an easy mode. And I can't remember the quote, but I'm sure people can look it up, of how Miyazaki sees difficulty in games. It was just a brilliant description and how amazing it was. I would say it comes... I think I remember.
I think it comes to
men who go to bed with itchy butthole wake up with stinky finger.
Yeah. Namaste. Very good. I think what he was trying to say in the quote was that you learn from your mistakes and you get better over time, and this is part of the learning process, despite how difficult it is. I mean, people don't even fucking know honestly what difficulty is. If they thought Sekiro was difficult, how about you fucking play the first Battletoads game? Well, that'll teach you how difficult, how suicidal that game can make you.
Yeah, I mean, our perception of difficulty has definitely changed since like the 80s and 90s, you know what I mean?
They were brutal. They were absolutely brutal.
20 years of games that just take you by the hand and they're like, okay, come this way.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it is quite a change up, and I think that's largely where my passion for more difficult games comes from, is because that's how I was raised. I was raised getting kicked in the dick by every video game that I put in.
Fucking Ninja Gaiden, the first Turtles game. Oh my fucking god, the first Battletoads. I mean, need I go on? I mean, the first Turtles game was just a nightmare.
I mean, even Mario.
Yeah.
Mario's nice and easy, and then
Super
once
Star Wars
to the end, it's
that's on Super Nintendo.
It's getting quite brutal. So, honestly, I have a lot of sympathy for Sekiro. It's probably going to be my vote. Jedi Fallen Order would be the next one up. Resident Evil 2. I mean, you're right that I don't necessarily enjoy remakes. With the stipulation that they need to do something different aside from like graphical upgrade, and Resident Evil 2 did do something different, so
they did,
I think that one's going to get a pass and be able to take the third slot for me.
Yeah.
Then Devil May Cry 5, which, I mean, Devil May Cry is a really good series for the most part.
Yeah. Overall, yeah.
There have been some flubs, but yeah, it's got a really cool universe built, so I like it. I'm partial to it. I don't think I'll probably rush out and pick up 5, but I can appreciate what they're doing. And then Destiny has never really been on my radar. Even the original Destiny, I got it for free or something, or in a Humble Bundle maybe, and I was like, maybe I should check this out, and it never really panned out. It just strikes me as like a shooter-looter for bros, and that's not a crowd I want to associate with, so... Yeah. That's at the bottom of the ranking for me. So, Sekiro, Jedi Fallen Order, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Destiny 2 is my order, and that's my vote for Sekiro.
Yeah, this is a very difficult decision for me, because I'm going to say it's Resident Evil 2 or Jedi Fallen Order. Oh god. So I would say Sekiro, but that game, like I said before, that's how it's designed. It's meant to frustrate you. It's meant to piss you off and rage quit and all this crap. And I kept coming back, though. That's the thing. I kept coming back for more. But brutally honest opinion is that I stopped streaming it because of how upset I was getting. And there were some gameplay mechanics that I didn't agree with that seemed like it was unfairly difficult, like stupid hard, because there's a lot of parrying you have to do, and I felt like it wasn't as responsive as I was hoping, but I don't know. I'm not an expert at the game. I was just first playthrough, so who knows. Going back to what I was saying about Miyazaki with that quote, then you get his quote about difficult games, learn from your mistakes and all that, get better over time, and then you get guys like Hideo Kojima who says that every game deserves an easy mode. And that's where we're at. That's where we're fucking at in this generation of gamers, is that having an easy mode has to be a necessity, according to Hideo Kojima. So, that's why I can understand Sekiro won Game of the Year at the Game Awards and not fucking Death Stranding, because let's just do a nice walking simulator of delivering boxes, because that's really cool, right? A to B, with nothing interesting in between. Man, this is hard, Dayton. Between Resident Evil 2 and Jedi Fallen Order, you know what? I think I might go with you on the originality aspect. Jedi Fallen Order is an original game. It's not a remaster, although Resident Evil 2 definitely goes from the weird cinematic horror camera angle that can be like mind-fucking from the on the PlayStation days, and then go from third person, which is pretty ballsy of them to do, because it's completely changing the script a bit, or flipping the script a bit. But it's like you said, it's a remake. As much as I enjoyed it, and it's pretty much a perfect game in my opinion. But Jedi Fallen Order had a lot riding on the line here. It was a long time coming. Star Wars is in the shitter basically, the franchise as a whole, thanks to Disney, and it was just nice to see that EA, of all people, gave them the space and room to make this game amazing, and it brought hope back into the video game Star Wars franchise. Now, I say that now, and I forgot to mention that the Old Republic MMO game is still going. They just released an expansion a couple days ago, or a couple months ago, or a few months ago. and that I wish that was on this list, but it's not on Steam, so it can't be.
Wrecked.
Wrecked. But Star Wars: The Old Republic is another really good Star Wars game that's still relevant to this day, so that's why I mentioned it, just like Jedi Fallen Order. But think of it like this, dude. Jedi Fallen Order came out, what, a month ago? A fucking month ago, and it's on this list on top nominees. How do you do that with a video game from a month of its release? That right there should explain a whole lot. That's insane to me.
Fair dues, fair dues.
So,
and they've got a robot called BD, which is obviously from Brandon Dayton. It's obviously the best character ever. So
yeah, for sure.
Maybe I should change my vote. But I'm not gonna.
Just shit. Fuck this. My vote. BD1 all the way. Is that they should make a game with BD1.
Oh yeah, I'd play the BD1.
And they use you.
They and lasers and shit.
They use you for motion cap.
Why does BD1 look so fat in this game?
Why he's got a stash?
What? Got a goatee.
Why is he holding a bobby? I mean, a baby.
Got a baby Bobby.
Got a Bobby baby. So, trust me, Sekiro is definitely up there in the top 3. Destiny 2 is definitely bottom of the barrel for me. Same reasoning that you had. Devil May Cry 5, good series, but I didn't buy the game. Let's just say that. Destiny 2 was a gift to me, so that's the only reason why I played it. It was a Christmas gift. But I bought Sekiro, I bought Resident Evil 2, I bought Jedi Fallen Order, and I enjoyed all of them. Almost.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm glad to have you along, because otherwise it's fucking judging all these books by their covers. But you provided some insight and helped me to make up my mind about some of the stuff. So
like it's amazing to see a single player Star Wars game in this generation of gaming, and it looks amazing on PC. Oh my gosh, it is such an amazing looking game. Like I said, it's got all these different gameplay elements that you could ever imagine. It's like Respawn was almost like, they're like, fuck it, let's just do it this way. Fuck this shit. Put some Dark Souls, throw some Metroid, throw some Castlevania, throw some Zelda in there. Fuck it. And then give it a Star Wars flair, and it was just amazing. It's like, how does this game story better than the latest trilogy of Star Wars movies? Anyway, that's another topic for another time. So, sounds like I'm slurping real hard the b-hole of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. You know why? Because that's my #1 Game of the Year vote. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Runner-up, Resident Evil 2.
There it is.
Boom!
So, as you can see, above my head, I've got Game of the Year is Sekiro, VR game is Gorn, Labor of Love is Warframe, Better with Friends is Risk of Rain 2, Most Innovative Gameplay is Baba's You, Outstanding Story-Rich Game, Disco Elysium, Best Game You Suck At, Hunt Showdown, Outstanding Visual Style was Astro Near. Me and Nico agreed for the majority of these, I do think.
Okay, so I'll go down my list. So Game of the Year, Jedi Fallen Order, VR Game of the Year, Blade and Sorcery, Labor of Love, Warframe, Better with Friends, Risk of Rain 2, Most Innovative, Baba Is You, Outstanding Story-Rich Game, Greedfall, All the Way, Best Game You Suck At, Mordhau, and then Outstanding Visual Style, Grid. So yeah, it was a even split on what we voted.
Yeah, we agreed with a good amount of stuff, and stuff that we disagreed on. I mean, we have our reasoning for it in the video, so you can check out the timestamps if you want to hear us rant.
Dude, you got me real good with the Labor of Love with the 2019 relevancy, where you're like, dude, but this is 2019 we're talking about. I'm like, holy shit.
I just read the shit like a lawyer, you know?
Lawyers! I want a lawyer! You can't handle the truth. They give you the
stipulations right there. I don't know what you you can't go you can't go outside the book or something, outside the law.
Yeah, you know what? I could have stuck to my guns and be like, no! 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 But you know what? Logic trumps all. That's great.
I mean, yeah, dig it like a spigot. All right, so I'm pretty beat after recording this long. An hour and 32. We'll see if I can edit it down to at least an hour and 10.
1 minute. An hour and 10.
Just include the last minute of the
video.
Either
1 minute or an hour and 10.
Somewhere between there, maybe. I don't know.
That
probably on the longer side.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. I mean, especially if you've watched this far, this is quite a chunky video. One of the more beefy videos on my channel, which is cool because I guess we're returning to form. You know, it's been a long time since I made a big beefy video.
Might as well do it now before the great YouTube purge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sink your teeth into it. I'm gonna upload this over on BitChute as well. If you want to check me out there, Nico and I might be making some content together that we can put over there, so we can be one of the boys once YouTube does fall apart. But
I thought you called it bitch shoot, but that was just my mind being stupid.
Bitch, U-T-E.
Booty sweat.
Booty, butt cheeks. All right, I'm done. This has been the Steam Awards, friend, 2019. I've been Brandon Dayton, your humble narrator, along with my brother, my stalwart ally, my greatest, best good friend, NikoTheLegend.
Yeah, boy.
That's right. So check out his channel as well. He stuff over there. You know, you could join his Discord. You could join my Discord. You could join all the Discords. Follow all the Twitters. I'm gonna have those links down in the description for you guys to check out.
Follow me on Twitch at twitch.com/NikoLegend.
And Twitch. I'm not gonna put that link in the said it. So anyways, I thank you guys so much for watching.
I'm gonna just buy games for you.
click all the links. Take Nico's lead and buy me some more games. Subscribe to the Patreon,
which I also do.
I know you're just like the biggest supporter ever, and
I am seriously your welfare check.
Thank God.
I like your EBT card.
I'm not in the States, so I can't get a real welfare check.
But see, I do it out of love because you deserve it.
That's right. Out of love and not legislation. Take that, welfare office.
Oh, shit!
I don't want to come after welfare recipients. It's fucked up. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. This has been the Steam Awards 2019. I've been Brandon Dayton, your humble narrator, along with Niko, the legend.
Welfare is bad.